Hello everybody, this is day 1 from this 30 days, 30 minutes course of hardcore Paidalajin to improve male strength. Okay, let's do not waste our time and start. Today we're going to make a 30 minutes practice of paida on the left elbow. I'm gonna set my timer 30 minutes. Okay. We can start with more gentle slaps, and with the practice we're gonna make heavier slaps, but in the beginning of course we can be more gentle. Before starting to talk about this specific area, you should know that you can quit at any time in this video. Of course, the best thing is to make the whole 30 minutes. But, you know, for some people, this could be a very tough goal, you know. So, you can quit at any time, but in my experience, I realized that the most amazing things are happening when you cover at least 25 minutes. And I'm sticking to this, and I'm doing this 30 minutes every single practice. So let me see if everything is okay with the timer. Yes, okay. The first minute passed actually. So let's talk about what are we doing. The practice on the elbow is because of the heart meridians. We have two heart meridians which are located on the inner side of our hands. Not hands but arms, sorry. So here we also have the meridian of the lungs. So we have the heart, the second heart meridian, which is called the pericardium, and the lungs meridian. Actually, Paidalajin is based on the theory that disease in our body are due to blockages of the 12 major meridians. And if these blockages are unblocked, the health is restored. So right now we're doing something like the other methods of traditional Chinese medicine, the acupuncture, the acupressure, and they are specifically made to unblock the blockages. But paida is something like training, something like iron body training, but it has the same effect on the meridians. So this thing can unblock the blockages. And right now we are focusing on the heart, because the heart is the main organ according to traditional Chinese medicine. This is the most important organ, like the organ that is superior to others. If the heart is okay, many things in the body are okay. You can think that slapping on the elbow cannot improve the sexual performance because it's too far away from the genitals, from the pelvis, and the genitals are located in the pelvis, right? But actually, in this theory, in traditional Chinese medicine theory, there is no such a thing, because the energy flows all around the body, and this energy channel, the heart channel, that is actually supplying the heart with chi, it is the function of this channel. This channel supplies the heart with chi. So if the heart does not have enough chi, the heart cannot pump the blood right, cannot pump the blood the best way. So sometimes even healthy people that took some heart, how is this? Heart diagnosis, and the diagnostic says that the heart is okay. They die after a few days after this from heart attack. The heart is very interesting organ, and according to traditional Chinese medicine, these people had blockages of the heart meridian, but actually this cannot be checked by these diagnostic machines that we have nowadays. Sometimes, yes, but sometimes you can have blockages, your heart does not have enough chi, and it cannot be checked by the machines. This thing was said by Master Hong Chi Shao in some of his lectures, and I strongly believe in this. So the heart, if the heart is okay, if the heart has enough chi, our overall health is improved by a lot. And I realized this after my first 30 minutes practice on the elbows. And I truly hope that you experience the same thing. The heart as a superior organ is related with the blood supply. And of course there is a very big logic that if the blood supply is good, there is less chance that you're going to have some problems with the sexual area. Am I right? So the same thing is, the blood supply is bad. Let's say you have cold limbs. When it's cold outside, your fingers and your toes are super cold. This is something that you can think of. So if you cannot warm your body, in what condition is your heart? In what condition is your blood supply? Bad. This is a bad condition. So imagine the same thing with the genitals. They need so much of a perfect blood supply, you know. The genitals, this is the thing that all the energy is forced to this area, and all the blood, of course not all the blood, but a lot of blood, and it requires very strong walls of the blood vessels, and it requires very healthy heart, because this thing needs a very good blood supply, you know. So if the heart is weak, if the heart does not have enough energy, this could be something like this could lead to something like of course in the sexual area, like premature ejaculation, like poor erection. In every guy this could be something different, something that, so in one guy is PE, in other guy is ED, some guys have wet dreams, some guys have other type of disease. But actually one of the reasons, I strongly believe, is the blockages of the heart. Another thing that heart does in this theory is related with emotions. In traditional Chinese medicine, every organ has its own positive and negative emotions, but in the heart it goes something different. It stands on something different, because the heart is actually related with all the emotions. And if the heart energy, the heart chi, not the heart diagnostics, so if the heart chi is not okay, it's not enough, or it is with blocked pathways, this leads to bad emotions like grief, jealousy. This leads to anxiety, sadness, many other bad emotions. And one of the things I realized is, after my first 30-minute practice on the elbow, I was so encouraged for life, in every single area. So I became 10 times braver. It's amazing how this area could affect our emotions so much. You know that in traditional Chinese doctors, they said that they can treat depression and other bad emotions. So every single time patient goes to a Chinese doctor about the depression or some maniac behavior or other types of mental issues, they always needle the heart meridian, because the heart meridian counts the so-called Shen, and the Shen in traditional Chinese medicine is the spirit. The heart meridians are pretty much connected with the Shen. Okay, right now it was like 12 minutes of practice. You can see that I have no sha. It's only the red skin because of the bigger blood supply. But the first time I did paida here, it was all dark. By dark I mean almost black. It was so dark shades of purple that you cannot make a difference between black and these and these things. So but right now I don't have this sha anymore, which means that that this area is in very good condition actually. Look how much damage this area can take, because I'm slapping and slapping, and I don't know how it looks like, but I'm slapping hard right now. Because it may look like that I'm not slapping heavily, but it is because of my technique. So I slap very hard. If it was my first time doing paida and I slapped myself like this, I would probably scream from pain. So yeah, I'm slapping very hard, and I have nothing here. Probably after this practice I will have something like edema, but that would be all. We are just continuing to slap here. Paidalajin is training actually. It is not a medical treatment. Despite we are talking about this disease and these medical conditions, actually Paidalajin is a training, and many sick people are practicing this training actually. Of course, they believe that they will treat their conditions, and unfortunately it turned out to be true in many cases. But if you do it long enough, you are starting to treat Paidalajin not as something that you put all your hope to heal your disease, but you are starting to treat Paidalajin as a training. You start to love it actually. I love Paidalajin. So every time when I go to bed, every night, you know, I'm thinking about what area I should slap next. So it is very good. It is like talking with God, because when you practice this thing, maybe it's not right to say when you practice. Okay, when I practice this thing, I'm like talking to God, and I'm like researching the different areas of our body and how they are affecting our overall health, our emotions. It is very interesting to see that if you slap one area, you got one type of feeling, one type of mood, one type of physiology affecting, and psychology, and the next day you slap another area and you got totally different type of thing. It's amazing. So but first, probably the people face a lot of healing crisis, especially the old people and the people who have chronic disease. When I started, I experienced lots of healing crisis, some sleepless nights, liver pain, very big liver pain. I've experienced 2 times. I was really scared, but I continued my practice. And many times I've experienced body pain somewhere. When I started with lajin, after 2 weeks, my upper back started to hurt a lot. Then it moved to my shoulders, and the pain remained in the shoulders for a very long period of time, actually, maybe a full month. And I just knew that this is just a healing crisis, and I just continued my practice, and with the time this pain disappeared. But this area here, inner side of the elbow, is actually one of the areas that you slap if you have healing crisis from some other areas, or from, let's say, some herbs, or you know, some intoxication. If you are intoxicated with something, this is a very good area. So this is not coincidence that this is the first practice, because if the heart is clean, it's most probably that we're gonna face less healing crisis during this course. I still don't have a shower, maybe 2 super little red dots. Let's see, how are we with the time? We have 11 minutes. Of course, during this course, you can stop for a little while to stretch your hands and to rest a little bit. It's a lot of slapping, and probably if you have some pain in the arms, the elbows, the wrists, the shoulder, you probably will need some help. Not some help, but some relaxation from time to time. I love these popping sounds. So let's say something about the other meridian, the lungs meridian. So the lung meridian is more from the inner side. So you can check if you have the most cha right here, right in this part. This is the problems with the heart meridian, blockage of the heart meridian. If you have it on like in the center, this is a pericardium meridian, which is the second heart meridian. And if you had it more on the outer side, this is a lung problem, the problem with the lungs meridian. Something that I didn't mention is this second heart meridian, which is also called the pericardium meridian. Some people call them meridians, some people call them channels. But anyway, this pericardium meridian, his another name is the sex meridian because it is related with the sex a lot. Actually, this was when I did my research from where to start with Paidalajin, where to be my first area, I heard about that this is the best way to start. This also here, but I started to look at the points which are located here, and when I read about the point of the pericardium meridian, which is located right here, and then I started to... So I read an article about this pericardium channel, and it was like pericardium channel, also called the second heart channel, and also called the sex channel. And I was like, okay, enough, I'm starting with this area. So it's pretty much located with sexual abilities. So the lung meridian, which also goes through this area, is not so much related with the sexual function, but is doing its thing, because the lung meridian increases the chi in our body, because the lungs, according to these teachings, are the organ that intakes chi from the outside. So it is not a coincidence that the yogis, they do their breathing techniques, and which are called pranayama, and prana is the same thing as chi, and pranayama means control of the breath. So they are doing specific breathing techniques that supply their body with prana, with chi, and with the right breathing techniques, they can increase the chi in the body. They can fulfill themselves with prana. But there is a very interesting statement that if you have a lot of prana, a lot of chi in your body, I've experienced this myself, this cannot improve, this cannot heal conditions, disease. Because if your meridians are blocked and you are how is this? And you are increasing your prana, this energy, this prana, this chi cannot go through the meridians. you know, you have a lot of it, but the pathways, the ways, the channels are blocked. So it's like to a very small tunnel to have a very big water flow, you know, like a lot of water. So if the tunnel is blocked, if it's small, if it's tight, if you have a lot of water, you have the same amount of water passing through this tunnel. But if you unblock this tunnel, if you make it big, if you make it wide, this water will pass through this tunnel easily. So the first thing, in my opinion, is to unblock the channels. And this was my greatest mistake when I started with yoga maybe 11 years ago. No, 10 years ago. I started to learn how to increase the chi, the prana with breathing techniques, and I felt better. I felt more energetic. My mood improved, but not my disease. I still got insomnia, I still got this PE, I still got this digestive problems that I used to have. So when I started to focusing on the unblocking, and the unblocking is made with the asanas in yoga, this posture, it started to get improvement in the disease. So I started to sleep a little bit better, to last a little bit longer, and my digestion kind of improved. So the main thing is that my energy channels were blocked, not that my chi is not enough. So then 4 years ago, when I started with Paidalajin, I realized that this is the best training for unblocking the meridians. Like the best thing. It is not like so many times better than the asanas. And I respect yoga a lot, and I'm not saying something bad about this teaching, but this Paidalajin is so much better than the asanas. Some of the asanas are great. Let's say the sun salutation is the most widespread vinyasa. It's consequence of asanas, and it is very good for the disease, unblocks many parts of the body. But it is great, but in the same time the Paidalajin is so much better. I'm like amazed by this practice. I love it so much. Let's see how much time we got. Oh, we got only 1 minute. So we're about to finish this practice in a minute. 58 seconds. Probably in the other videos I'll try to talk less. The heart meridian is also very good for throat problems, the breathing problems, the nose problems, I mean the upper respiratory tract, and for overall health. So we got emotions, we got better blood supply, we got better nose and sinuses and throat problems, everything that is in the mouth also. Bleeding gums is very good for bleeding gums. Okay, this was the practice, and actually in the last couple of minutes I got this dot right here and also this here, so I'm also human, you can see. So okay, this was the first practice. Thank you so much. This was day 1 and we will see each other in day 2. Hello everybody and welcome to day 2. Yesterday we did paida on the elbow, and today we're going to start with lajin practices, lajin stretches. For today's practice you need a strong table or bench. I mean strong legs because it needs to carry your weight. Or if you don't have a bench like this, you can use 3 chairs. And practice with 3 chairs and put them in, near the door frame. I'm gonna put a photo somewhere here in the video, but today I'm gonna use this thing as a door frame, you know, as instead of door frame I'm gonna use this thing. Okay, so let's do not waste our time and start with our first lajin practice. We're gonna stretch somewhere between 25 and 30 minutes, okay? We're gonna start with 5-minute stretch on our lajin bench that we just made. I'm gonna set my timer. 5 minutes. Okay, not 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay. And start. So, we're gonna start with the right leg. Probably it is better to start the video after we get into position. So we're going to start with the right leg up, left leg down. Now I'm going to set my timer again. And the hands, the arms must be like this. Try not to put your toes outwards, but inwards. Okay, or straight or inwards. These are the correct positions, never outwards. So we are staying like this, and what are we doing right now? We are extending our ligaments. Lajin practices are different from the yoga practice because in the lajin practices we just make a few stretches. In the yoga there are thousands of asanas, but here we have only 7, and one of them is most important, and actually this is it. Very important thing is, if it is windy, you need to cover this area on the body. Must be protected here. So we stay in this position for 5 minutes. We are stretching the whole body, actually, the arms, the armpits, back of the legs, front part of the hips, and actually this is what is lajin all about. Lajin stretches many places in the body, in their normal range of stretching, not something super stretchy, but we get into this position, which is a very normal position. We have 90 degree here with the right leg, and this position cannot harm your body. If you feel pain, that means that you do not overstretch. That means that you have blockages in these painful areas. It is not very comfortable to talk in this position, so probably from time to time I'm gonna remain quiet for a little bit, because it's not comfortable for the throat to talk in this position. Today we're gonna make a lot of lajin exercises, and it will open our body in many places. Actually, lajin is opening of our energy system. It is unblocking of the body by stretching. But it's a very specific, intelligent stretch, because with one stretch, we are stretching many parts of the body, like many joints. We stretch a little bit the ankle, the knee, the hips, the armpits. Even you can. Some people have improvement in their neck issues with this stretching. This is the most universal stretch that I know, because with only one exercise you are stretching the whole body. And the blood can go in every single joint. Blood can go everywhere. Okay, we have how much? 23 seconds in this position. I hope that you do not feel pain from this small practice, because this is just the beginning. With every single practice, we're gonna extend the time and do the lajin a little bit more, a little bit harder. So, okay. I'll just make this thing. Okay. So, 5 more minutes. The other side. Five minutes and let's go. The left leg up, the right leg down, and we are stretching. Okay? It is good to feel that your hips are very good attached to the bench. Sometimes in a very unflexible, rusty people, it is not possible. But you should try your best to get it in the exact position. So right now we don't force anything. We don't force our leg like this. We don't force our right leg to touch the ground or something. We are just passively getting into this position. Maybe if our legs start to turn outwards, we need to push it inwards, but nothing more than this, you know. We do not stretch by force, nothing. We are just placing our body exactly like this. Our hips must be super close. We must attach our glutes to this thing, no matter if it is a plank or a door frame or a wall. So we must attach our seats to this and get into this position. So you can feel that you feel a pain in a different way when you alternate the legs. For example, some people do not feel pain when the left leg is up, but they feel pain when the right leg is up, and the opposite. That means that you have blockages more on one side than the other. I love this stretch. It helps me a lot for many problems in the body. And actually this is my daily practice. Kind of more hardcore than this, but still. Still I make lajin every day. This is the most easy variation of this stretching. You can feel pain, for example, behind the knee. You can feel pain in the lower back. You can feel pain in the hip of the hanging leg, the inside of the knee of the hanging leg. You can feel pain in the armpits. These are the most usual places that people feel pain. But with the time, this pain will disappear, and also your pain in the body will decrease by a lot. So we'll continue with our stretch. We don't force anything. We're just opening many joints in our body. A lot of joints now are open, and the blood is flushing through the joints when they're open, and that means that we are supplying with blood many places of the body. We are stimulating our blood vessels. And that's why, and in this way, we are training our blood vessels, our blood system, our circulating system. And that's why this stretching is very good for cold limbs. And another very interesting thing is that in traditional Chinese medicine, they treat they always know that there is relationship between the cold limbs and the core reproductive abilities. There are, in some books, these two things are in the same chapter, like problems with reproductive organs and cold limbs. That is because of poor circulation of the body. If you have cold limbs, most probably you have some problems with erection or premature ejaculation or something like this, because it is related with the same thing, our ability of the body to put blood everywhere. So Now we're gonna make 5 minutes of neck lajin. And very important thing is that if you think, if you are not good, if you have disease somewhere here, like hernia, disc hernia, something like this, something scary, you should do that very gentle and for 1 minute. If you don't have these things, you can do this for 5 full minutes. For example, if you are a healthy young guy or not very young but still healthy guy and don't have severe neck problems, you can do this for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. And actually, I'm gonna stop it for a little bit. How to do it actually? You must go like this. Your shoulders must be a little bit out of the bench, and go like this. You should not do this on a bed because bed is soft. You should do this in at something hard, 3 chairs or a table. Okay. So then we just hang our hands and our neck, and we stay like this for 5 minutes. It is super hard to talk in this position, so I won't talk like right now. I will just stretch with you, and we'll say something from time to time. It is very good stretch for the shoulders and for the upper back and the neck. Helps a lot with the thyroid problems, helps with the heart problems, and helps a lot for problems in the head, in the skull. You can feel your hands numb very fast. That means that your blood supply to the hands is not very good. That doesn't mean that you have severe problem, but with the practice you will notice that your hands will start to numb later and later. For example, when you first stretch, they can go numb in the first minute, but then they will go numb in the second minute, and then third and 5. This is also very good for calming the mind, and amazing posture that you can do after a long working day.
after too much work, we accumulate a lot of stress in the upper back, and after a long working day, we can just go like this for 5 minutes, and when we stay, we will feel a lot better. It also moves the chi in the upper body, and it helps for premature ejaculation. Sometimes the numb can disappear during the practice. This means that your blood supply is getting better during the practice. The blood finds its way to supply your hands. Okay. 5 minutes passed, and now, very good. After this stretch, it is very good for the upper back. It's amazing. Combination of these two stretches is So, let me see if I'm still recording. Okay. Now the last two practices, we got 5 minutes in squatting position. So, if you cannot squat like this, try to squat like this. It is still something. It is still something. Just do not squat like this. The hips must be on the ground. Okay? And the perfect position is like this. But if you cannot reach that, it's not a problem. Let's try to do it for 5 minutes. If you cannot do it for 5 minutes full, no problem. Just stay as much as you can. This position cannot hurt you. Stay as much as you can, and then just wait for the other stretching on, or just can move to the other stretch with the video. Okay, so 5 minutes, let's go. So I'm gonna make the perfect position, but I'm gonna lift my head to talk to you, because if I talk like this, probably you cannot hear. Squatting position is very good for many problems. I mean, it is for overall health. It is the same position as this position, with one leg up and other leg down. Of course, this is better if you need to choose. If you, for example, have only 20 minutes to practice and you're wondering what to do, choose this one. But from time to time, choose squatting. Squatting is very good as well. Helps for many things, because it unblocks many parts of the body. Right now we're stretching the sides and the front part of the knees. We're stretching the ankles, the Achilles. We're stretching the lower back. It is amazing for lower back. It takes a lot, but it's very good for lower back. I mean, I'm doing this position I do it every day actually. This is the first thing I do. It's perfect for a morning routine because it helps for digestion a lot, and for people with constipation or other digestive problems, it is very good to be the first thing you do in the morning, you know. The first thing I do in the morning, of course, making a coffee and squatting, and I drink my coffee in this position every morning, and making my to-do list, you know, and because my job is related with a lot of social media, with messages, because yeah, you don't need to know, but I text a lot to the people, and it's perfect to do a little job, you know. So I'm making this, and one of my super chronic body pain disappeared, but it was very like a chronic thing. I wasn't I wasn't sure that this thing will someday disappear, but it disappeared. It was a pain right here at the right side at the lower back, and it took a lot of practice actually. I'm not gonna lie, it took more than a year of everyday squatting, but I did it. I did the squatting because of other things, and didn't realize that it will help for this thing, but it helped. So good. Back to the original position. When we bend our head and go like this, we stretch a lot the upper back. We stretch the area between the shoulder blades, we stretch the back of the shoulders, and we stretch the neck. We have 40 seconds, 45 seconds, 40 seconds. Probably this video will take a little longer, but this is because before starting with the stretching, I'm explaining what you need for this stretch. And I apologize for this thing, but in the other videos I don't need to do that anymore, and the videos will go quicker. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the last stretch, it is actually your favorite stretch. It is the wide lajin. I will do this to the wall. Yes, I will do this to the wall, but you can do that on the floor as well. Because you need only a yoga mat or a blanket, you know, thick blanket, to place it on the floor near the wall, and the whole thing is like this. You touch your seat to the wall, spread your both legs, and place your hands like this. This is it. And we're gonna stay in this position for 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes. Ready, set, go. 5 minutes in the wide lajin. Oh. Amazing lajin. Actually, it helps me a lot with lower back. Helps me a lot with upper back, which is strange because it not seem to stretch there, but I found it very good. It's of course amazing for the reproductive system, for the erection. I don't don't think is that good for premature ejaculation if you practice only this. If you combine it with other lajin stretches, like we are doing right now, it makes the effect better for the premature ejaculation. But if you want to improve premature ejaculation and only practice while lajin, I don't think it will work. But for the poor erection, I think it is good. I think it could help only by practicing it. One of the problems is if the wall is cold, you must place something between your seat and the wall. It's very important because one of the most important things in Paidalajin practice is to keep the body warm. Actually, paida increases the warmth in the body. It increases yang qi in the body, which is the warm energy. And we must not face cold. So if we expose our body to cold, it will be like not good for the Paidalajin practice. It won't be good. So if you stretch, you must make sure that there is no wind, that the wall is not that cold. If it is cold, you should place some blanket here, or like put some part of the yoga mat on the wall and then lay on the ground. I like this stretch a lot. One of my favorites. Helps me a lot with the sleeping. But this other stretch is also very good for the sleep. This with one leg up and other leg down, but this as well. So when we finish with these 5 minutes, it is the end of this practice for today. And we will gradually increase the duration of the practices, and it will make them a little bit harder, but you don't need to worry about that. Because if the pain becomes too much, if the pain is a lot and you can resist it, it's totally okay. It's actually the right thing to do. But if the pain becomes too much, you can just stop, and it's okay. If you reach that level with these extreme face expressions, like that means that you reach that point that you are cleaning your energy system very excessively, very hard. That you are pretty much into the cleaning mode, you know. The people who are super flexible, they need a lot of time to reach that level. For example, dancers or yoga teachers. But even if they are yoga teachers, when they reach that level, oh my god, they feel a lot of pain. So the people that are not that flexible, they go in this position in this position very fast, because they are not flexible, and if they got blockages, they feel a lot of pain very fast. Yeah. So this was today's practice. Thank you so much, and see you in tomorrow's video.
Hello everybody, this is day 3, and in day 3 we're going to make 30 minutes practice of paida on the right elbow. Let's don't waste our time and start. 30 minutes. We can start with more like gentle slaps and then increase the strength of the slaps. So, welcome to day 3. I congratulate you for being here, and you survived the first 2 days. In day 1, we slapped the left elbow, and now is the right elbow's turn. Slapping this area is good for the heart meridian, pericardial meridian, also known as the sex meridian, and the lungs meridian. These 3 has their amazing effect on the emotions and of the blood supply in all the body. Also, this is a key area if you have strong healing crisis. It is also the key area if in emergency issues. There is a video online. I saw it on Facebook. There is this Thailand. It's happening in Thailand. There is this Thailand guy, maybe 22, 23 years old, collapsing in the cinema, and two of the clients of the cinema, probably they knew about Paidalajin from somewhere, and started to slap him on the elbows, on the inner side of the elbows. And he not only woke up, but he jumped. You know, he was sitting like this, and then he jumped. So he did that 3 or 4 times. It was amazing. Everybody applaud. Oh, I already got 1 dot. This super cool. 1 little red dot of Sha. You see? Right here. This is our hardcore training. And you really need patience for this training. The practices required patience, required braveness, they require like specific type of thinking. They require open mind for the ancient teachings, like traditional Chinese medicine, yoga, because we can look at this practice as something modern, like a modern training, like an iron body workout, but I'm more like a traditional guy, and I'm using this knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine because Paida is actually based on this knowledge. Of course, this practice can improve elbow pain. I can say some very interesting stories, interesting for me at least, about this paida on the elbow. There is a guy from Africa. He told me, I think that he's actually my best student. He learned about my channel when the channel was very young. You know, I got maybe 20 subscribers, something like this. So probably he's one of the first people watching my videos, and he did that paida on the inner side of the elbow. He did my acupressure routine, and he stretched on the bench. And these words are my favorite actually. He said, "You are right for everything." You know, see, he got his premature ejaculation, and he started with all the things I've uploaded in the channel, and he said, everything worked, everything, you're just right for everything. And this is amazing because, how to say it, it is like, this is why I've uploaded these videos, not someone to tell me that I am right. It's not about me, it's about these teachings, because I respect Paidalajin a lot, you know. I respect these traditional teachings, and I can see this super crazy industry that makes billions, you know, trillions maybe, I don't know, I cannot even imagine how many pills are on the market right now. And there is this traditional market, but there is a black market. There are many bad things happening because of this man problem. You know, this is something that bothers me a lot because I started with the same kind of thinking. I was like trying many pills, almost every single pill, and I realized that these things, of course, the Viagra, Cialis, this Privileged, the Boxetin, they work. I'm not saying that they do not work. So you're taking Viagra, you got erection. You're taking the Boxetin, it delays your ejaculation. Sometimes with a few seconds, sometimes with a few minutes, but you don't feel good, man. This side effect sucks. And about the other herbs and stuff that are on the market, these are pure lies. At least I think like that, because none of them help me even a little, you know. Maybe some of them increased my libido, but none of them truly helped. So that's why these guys' words, I remember them, because probably he felt the same. He was so surprised that these things are actually true, and these things actually work, because no one is talking about this, but many people are talking about some kind of medical substance, some kind of how is this, gel, something to put on the skin, something to put in your mouth, something to put in your you know where. So it is kind of sad, but my logic is that everyone is trying to make money, and we got so many products now, and people who are making these products, they pay a lot for commercials, and the whole internet and the whole TV, we are all these all things are affected by these commercials. So in every movie, in every, of course, when you watch a movie and they play the commercial, it's obvious. Yeah, they are just the commercials. They are presenting their product. Yeah, but even in the movies, like some guys with disease, you know, they are like something like heroes because they work with their disease, and they are using lots of pills and something like that. You know, this is a very smart guy, Dr. House. You know, this is the Accountant movie. You know, this movie, The Accountant, with Ben Affleck. So every single hero in the movies, he's got his disease, but and he's taking pills. So he's a strong guy and he's amazing, but he uses pills. But I realized that probably there is some. Of course, don't think that I'm some kind of conspiracy guy, but truly logical that some company must be interested of showing how heroes in the movies are taking pills, because let's say the movie will be absolutely the same without pills and with the pills. You know, the same thing are interesting in the movie. In the movie are not interesting the taking of the pills. Taking of the pills is just a thing that happened that doesn't even have anything to do with the main story, you know. So if we just skip this scene with the taking pills, the movie will be the same. But it is like something normal. We're thinking more like not like a sheeps, but like people that should spend money or something, you know, and that's how you are going to solve your problems. But actually, if we skip all those like commercial things, commercial stuff, what else we got? You know, what else we got, and what else we can discuss? If we don't have a TV, if we don't have internet, if we don't have some other, like some radio, for example, probably we won't think like that. We won't. I truly believe that. I'm young enough to not know what is to don't have internet or TV or radio, but my grandfathers, mothers, they were telling me a story about like in every village they got probably one person that could treat something. In Bulgaria, these were doing more like old women in Bulgaria. So they were putting suction cups. They were making this, I don't know how is the word in English, but they apply something, let's say with herbs, with something with liquor, or something alcoholic, or with honey, or many things to your chest, to your pain problems. They were doing massages. So they were drinking teas for their disease, and they survived. Okay, so there are many traditional things, but no one like searched for the pill or something, you know. They were not talking about, there was not industry. So it is not the usual thing to think of buying something, you know. It is not. It is because of too much commercials, not because this is the only thing that could help us. That's what I mean. And the sad thing is that you can go on forums on the internet, and the most discussed topics about these sexual problems are about pills. About the pills, and the others are just complaining. And another thing is that they discuss is diet. Let's be honest, the diet could not help. Could help just a little bit, but not truly solve something. Actually, because before starting with pills, I tried with diets, and I was super strict. One of the diets was 3 months in a row. I wasn't taking anything with sugar, but by anything I mean I didn't even eat bread. Because in bread they put sugar too. So I ate a few things, you know. I ate nuts, yogurt, and sometimes chicken. Now I'm vegetarian, but so yeah, this was basically my diet, and it was very good diet actually. Cutting sugar is something very good for health, I believe that. But the disease does not come from, like, the disease was already there when I started this diet, you know. If you just keep your diet, it will prevent many diseases, of course, but having a disease already and changing the diet could not cure it, cannot really solve a problem. It can decrease some clinical signs, but not really to cure this disease. And when I was on this super strict no sugar diet, I was feeling very good actually. My skin was very good at its best, but had no improvement on PE. I've tried some more diets, of course, but without any improvement. Maybe 2 seconds more. So yeah, it's not something that I can even feel like the difference. I truly believe that if you got this like a chronic thing, it is your energy that is blocked. So one by one, little by little, in this course we are unblocking our energy. When we stretch on the bench, we're unblocking many meridians. At the same time, we are by opening them, by staying in this position. When we paida, we are unblocking specific parts. Like here, we're focused on the inner side of the elbow. Here are located the lung meridian, pericardium and heart meridians. So it's like big unblocking in one specific part. This is paida. Lajin is huge unblocking in many parts, but not that big unblocking. I love doing paida on the elbow and then just continuing with my day. It gives you very good effect on the nervous system, on the spirit, on the courage. It's super cool. I also am doing a paida on the elbow when I have gum problems. It helped me a lot actually. And this is something that when I go to the dentist the last time, my dentist told me that my teeth are really dense. Dense is this to be really strong, you know, dense. Like the opposite of loose. This is what I want to see, the dense. So it is hard for her to, with this machine, it is hard to treat them for her. So and I truly believe, because no one told me this before, and I truly believe that this could be because of Paidalajin, because I know how it affects the gums, because someday I got these gum problems because of a tooth, because of a tooth that maybe I'm not that good at seeing the dentist regularly, but that's why I got this gum problem sometimes. And after paida on the inner side of the elbow, when I wake up in the next day, my gums are totally okay. Totally, I mean totally. So maybe this is one more reason why I'm skipping the visit to the dentist. It's not good, don't do that. But because I feel okay, and I don't have pain, I don't have gum problems, so nothing bothers me. And yeah, maybe that's why. But it was very interesting for me to know that my teeth are very, very strong, very, very dense. I don't know how it's for you. Probably you feel lots of pain right now, but for me, I feel nothing. I did so many times paida on the elbow. Still helps though, still helps, but I don't feel pain. So right now I don't need to focus a lot on the elbow, because I'm slapping hard right now and I feel almost nothing. Right now my practices are something like I'm just playing something on Netflix and start the practice. Don't even paying attention to any pain. Okay, we got 4 minutes and 30 seconds. According to Paida theory, is like where you have the bigger pain, this is the biggest blockage. Usually, if the area is healthy, you don't have this sha, these dots, and you don't feel pain. And I truly believe that, because when I started I got lots of sha, then practice by practice the sha stopped to appear, and the pain reduced. So I basically don't feel pain after the first 3 minutes of Paida. And with all these processes, my health was restored, you know, little by little. The beginning is the hardest part. Actually, it is like a very cool job that I have. Of course, I need to work other jobs, but maybe for now 3% of my money come from paida and lajin. And I really hope to increase this percentage, because I love teaching Paidalajin and it makes me healthy. You can find this job literally anywhere. So maybe yoga teacher is kind of the same. But teaching Paida and Lajin is amazing. So you are going to work and you get back home feeling even better. It's like a dream job. Last minute. So this course is hardcore course, but it is hardcore just if you are new to Paidalajin. Once you start with your practice, continue it. There is nothing hardcore in this, and yeah, I know for sure that actually 30 minutes of Paida is something that our body can take with ease. So nothing bothers our body if we make 30 minutes of Paida. It just sounds a lot, but it's not. Okay, this was the practice of paida on the elbow. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hello bros, and welcome to day 4. Yesterday we did paida on the right elbow, and today it's again time for lajin. Time for some stretching. Okay, let's not waste our time. You know what you need to do. Let's start with the lajin in reclining position. That means the lajin with one leg up and other leg down. Okay. 10 minutes per leg, 10 minutes straight. Okay, I just set the timer for 10 minutes and we just get into the position like this. I'm gonna use this sweater for covering my abdomen to keep my body warm. In this position. Yes. Cool. Let's see how we're gonna do it with 10 minutes. Of course, if in some point you feel so big pain that you cannot stay even 1 second more, try to stay a few seconds and then stop, because the pain here is our friend. You know, lajin and paida are both practices of facing the pain, and the pain here is not our enemy, is not as it is in the other stretches, because lajin stretches are different from the other stretches. The same with paida. Paida is different from the other hits. For example, paida, you are hitting yourself with flat object and you are hitting yourself not that heavy, you know, to broke the bone or something. And with the flat object, paida is actually on the principle of no destruction, no construction. Paida, when we paida somewhere, we, for example, if we have weak capillaries, if we have a lot of salts accumulated in some tissues, some hardened tissues, we make a little destruction in these areas. That's why the shock appears. And this destruction actually is not causing us any harm. It is just stimulating the body to heal this area. You know, it is like a stimulation for our healing system, for our healing abilities, to heal ourselves naturally from our own energy, from our own sources, from the body. We have storage for insane amount of healing in our body, and we do not enter this storage because we are sitting in the comfort zone. But with the paida, with the lajin, we are going out of our comfort zone. The same with lajin actually. If we got the shortened ligaments, if we got hardened ligaments, a lot of calcium, for example, stored in the ligaments, in the muscles. These practices are making our ligaments soft again, and by soften our ligaments, we are making better the blood supply, we are making comfort in the body, and we are improving our health by a lot like this. Chinese, they believe that if you have soft ligaments, you live a long life.
And in my experience, lajin is the best way to soften your ligaments. Actually, it's fastest way because it does not require any super hard knowledge on how to stretch, but it is, and in the same time, it's so simple. You just lay in this position and just sit, facing the pain. Continue to practice during the pain. When the pain gets too big, you just stop the practice, change the legs, do the same, and actually this is the practice. So simple, even the kids can get it in 1 minute. It is very simple training, but it affects our health a lot. I always knew that health must be something simple to achieve. Because when I studied medicine, I'm a medical doctor, veterinary medical doctor, so I'm an animal doctor, but anyway, I studied kind of the same things the first 4 years. So I realized how complicated are these teachings, modern medicine. When I studied yoga, and when I studied the text, the scriptures, in yoga is kind of the same, yoga and Ayurveda. They are super complicated things, and the same with Tai Chi, the same with acupuncture, acupressure, the other healing methods, but Paidalajin is something that is doing literally the same thing. It is holistic healing. It is a practice that is not specifically made for one disease or another. It is a training of the body, and with this training, the body becomes healthier. That's why we practice Paidalajin. But it is so simple that this simplicity makes it even better than practicing yoga or searching in all these medical researches, for example, for some kind of nutrition or some kind of pills, herbs, supplements. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot be wrong if you just practice Paidalajin. It's so simple. Facing the pain. Right now I can feel some pain in the calf muscle. It's just a very little pain, but yeah. Sorry about the background noises. I'm here on not in my house. I isolated myself to be alone and to be able to record these videos not disturbed by any people. Let's see how much we got. Oh, I cannot reach my tablet. We can feel that we are making our ligaments longer actually, because if it is like this, that you cannot touch the ground and you have just a little bit to touch it. After some minutes on the bench, you start to touch it. So, and sometimes if you have the weights on the ankle, you can even touch it not only with the fingers but with the heel. It stretches a lot, and it is kind of placing the bones in the right position because it stretches so many parts of the body that your body becomes better situated, like the bones one to each other, like in the more correct position. You are improving your position. One very interesting thing is that my glutes, okay, I got a big ass. So and when I started with lajin, it became smaller. It's very interesting. My girlfriend lost 3 kilograms and never returned them again when she started with the practice. It's very interesting. It really changes your body, the way your body looks. Okay, the first 10 minutes, they passed. Probably if it's one of your first practices, 10 minutes, you need some time to recover the blood flow. Like you can feel your legs numb, sore, something like this. Could be also in the arms. So we wait a few seconds more and change the legs. 10 minutes, go. Same thing with the left leg. It is very interesting teaching Paidalajin because there's no information for it except in the book Master Hongji Shao that is called Heal Yourself Naturally Now, with the ancient teaching of Paidalajin. Something like this is the full title. Unfortunately, Master Shao now is in prison, and it's actually not fair, but he is working on research of Paidalajin. Actually, one of the reasons they put him into prison is because Paidalajin is not scientifically proven, but it's actually not medical. It's not how to say, medical practice is not something that we call that it is. We are not medical doctors. We are just practicing. So it's a training of the body. And actually there are lots of researches on massage techniques like percussion therapy on the body. There are a lot of researches on stretching, but not exactly on these stretches. Yeah, it's a very sad accident actually. This accident while Master Shao is in prison. It's a very sad story. There was this kid, 7 years old, from Australia, with his mother and grandmother on the Paidalajin workshop. Basically, in these Paidalajin workshops, they are practicing Paidalajin 7 days in a row, around 8 to 10 hours every day of Paida. And there are so many stories of people healed themselves after these workshops. Amazing stories. Deaf people start to hear again, and there are stories of return sight, blind people can see, amazing stories, and a lot of testimonials you can find in Paidalajin.com. But with this kid, he got diabetes type 1, and this kid, during the workshop, died in a hotel room alone, without his mother or grandmother, anyone. It was during the workshop, and his mother and grandmother stopped giving insulin to the kid. And the thing is that they blame Master Shao of making these workshops and treating Paidalajin as but he thought that, I know that in every workshop he starts with the words, we don't say anyone to stop the medicine, and I'm sure that he never said this, stop the insulin, but he said something like, they asked him something, and he said, this is the practice, stick to it, because they also make, fasting, and they was wondering if it's good for fasting for the kid or not, and Master Shao said, this is the practice, stick to it, something like this. But he's not a medical doctor. They can just continue with the way they want, and yet that's why they are all in prison right now. The mother, the grandmother, and the Master Shao, and no one of them said that he's guilty, because, for example, if mother and grandmother, they weren't even near to the kid, when the kid dies. They left him alone. So if they say that they are guilty, Master Shao will go out of prison. If Master Shao said, the other will go out of prison. Something like this is the story. So it's a very sad story, because Master Shao is doing these workshops many years in a row, and there are a lot of people healed, and I never attended workshop, but I'm a practitioner in, I'm just a single practitioner, and I'm healed from every disease I got, This is such an amazing practice, I believe in Paidalajin so much. Of course, I cannot prove it scientifically, but I don't need to, because I know that I got a lot of disease, and when I started with Paidalajin, every single one of disease, little by little, disappeared. There were insomnia, premature ejaculation, and gases, a lot of gases, digestive problems, and also many parts of my body with a lot of pain. I got many inflamed muscles, and nothing helped that much as Paidalajin, nothing. And I feel better, because some pills can help, but I didn't feel better when I took the pills. Actually, I felt worse. For example, I took some pills for the insomnia before 15 years, and I slept, but I felt even worse. Same with the sex pills. I took the Boxetin, Viagra, and after every single pill, I was feeling even worse than this. It helped for the sex, for the intercourse, but for my health was very bad. And in the same time, even during the sex, it wasn't the same thing. like doing it naturally. So I was thinking about something that I need to be really healthy, not to take pills, because pills are, I didn't feel them good, you know. So nothing helped like Paidalajin. Okay. I don't know how many minutes we got. But I'm sure we're somewhere at the end, maybe 1 or 2 minutes more. And also one very interesting story about putting Master Shao in prison was first, because it is not he's not the killer, you know, he's not the killer of this kid. You cannot say that this man killed this boy. So this is, of course, and in the beginning they just wanted I don't know how is the word in English, but you know, they want money. So you know, sometimes when you're in when you make some bad thing, the judges don't put you in prison, but want money. Not corrupted money, but I don't know how is the word. So just like a tax. And they wanted the money from him, but they didn't know that that Master Shao is a very rich person. And he gave them the money, and after this, they realized that this guy actually had money, and they put him in the prison then. So they changed their decision. It's not the money, it's in prison. It's very like covered in shady stuff, this story. So I don't like this story at all. Okay, and we're gonna do a 5 minute of neck lajin. Like this. I'm gonna set my timer for 5 minutes. And this is also one very interesting thing, because let's say you are organizer of some sport, of some championship, for example, football, basketball, something. So there are a lot of cases that some sport guy dies on the match, during the match, and the organizer does not go in prison, you know. So this stupid. So it's very shady story. It's kind of this one of these stories with big pharma conspiracies, because some guy find a way to cure a lot of disease and they put him into prison for nothing. I'm pretty sure you heard about stories like this also. So we go like this, and we're gonna make a neck lajin. One of my favorites. Yeah. We're relaxing the upper back, stretching, helping our heart, our brain, our eyes, our tongue, nose, ears, our hair. A lot of chi goes to the head, and this leads to reducing of lust, reducing of lewdness, and in that way it helps for premature ejaculation. It reduces the desire to ejaculate. We're stretching the legs, the neck, not the legs. A lot of fresh blood comes to the brain, to the shoulders, to the neck. Also, this is how to say decompression therapy, because we're decompressing the upper back, the neck, the spaces between the vertebrae. Oh yeah. I like this. So, this was today's practice, day number 4, and see you tomorrow. Day 5, everybody. This is one of the last, more soft lajin practices. Till the end of the course, the lajin practices will become more hard, like more hardcore than this and the next one, okay? Now, 15 minutes on the bench. I'm gonna set my timer, 15 minutes per leg. 1, 5, 0, 0, and start. Here it's a bit cold, that's why I'm with the jacket, but we said that the warmth is very important actually for the practice. If it's cold, just don't practice. If it is kind of windy, make sure that you're covering all the skin. Your skin should not be directly exposed to the wind. "15 minutes of lajin practice without belt on, without strapped legs, without weights. This is very, very good practice, very good for the beginners, and for that guys with more experience, it is super pleasant. Right now we are stretching lots of meridians related with overall health and with the sex life. On the back of the leg we have urinary bladder meridian, and on the inside of the legs we got liver, spleen and kidney meridians. On the side of the leg, right here we got gallbladder meridian. The front part of the leg we got stomach meridian. It is very, very stretchy for every meridian on the legs. On the hands, we stretch pericardial meridian, heart meridian, and lungs meridian. Also, we stretch the small intestine meridian, and in that way, we are stretching every single meridian. Of course, we stretch a little bit of triple water meridian and large intestine meridian. So we are stretching every single meridian in the body during this position. That means a lot of chi starts to flow in the straight channel. If we got some part of the meridian that is blocked, or for example not that wide, when we stretch this, the energy starts to flow freely in the open meridian, and we are improving our health. Every meridian is related with some functions, some emotions, and there are lots of stretches for lots of meridians, but they are specific stretches, and they are stretching only some little part of the body. But this stretch is truly amazing. It stretches many meridians, and because of this is its amazing function to restore the health of the body. It could be helpful for so many conditions. The urinary bladder meridian is related with the sexual function a lot. The kidney meridian is a lot related. The liver meridian also. The the spleen, the heart meridians, all of these are stretched in this position. The liver meridian is extremely important for the erection. The heart meridian for the blood supply, and which is also related with the erection, but not only for the penis, but on the prostatic gland and the other glands related with the sex life. The urinary bladder and the kidney meridians are related with the whole reproductive system. In depth, super correctly responsible. Okay, so this is day 5. So congratulations for reaching day 5. I'm not gonna talk a lot in this video because the position is not comfortable to talk. If you talk a lot in this position, probably you will hurt your throat. When we stay in this position, our reproductive system is in constant supply of energy, both visible energy, the blood, and invisible energy, the chi. Our genitals got the fresh blood because of the open pelvis, and also it is easy for the heart to supply this area because we are laying. The ligaments of the pelvis will become softened. The muscles and the ligaments will become longer, and this will help for the supply, the blood supply of the pelvis. When we stretch our legs like this, we are also making space for the nerves. The nerves that supply the genitals come from our lumbar region of the spine. And actually we are stretching even this area when we're in the lajin. "15 minutes is a very good practice. It's the beginning of real lajin practicing. And in my opinion, 15 minutes is the minimum practice. Like you can get the results from this practice with at least 15 minutes. Each leg, each leg. Sometimes it's so relaxing to lay on the bench when once it gets easy for you. It's super relaxing. You can even fall asleep. It's very pleasant stretching. You can lay on the bench and chill at the same time. Okay, I think that probably we passed 10 minutes. We have a few more minutes. I don't know. The stretching is very good. I can feel the stretch in the whole back of my right leg. I feel it also in the front part of the hip, of the left hip. I feel a little bit in the neck. This stretching can help for neck problems. I'm super sure about that. Okay, so we are ready with the first leg. Okay. We'll wait a few minutes to wait for the blood because I'm okay, but I'm practicing every day, and probably in your case it's not like this. Probably you need example, a minute to for the blood. Let me see if I'm recording. Yes, fortunately I am recording. Okay, it is time for the second leg, and I want to apologize that I'm not talking a lot, but in this position it's really kind of tough for the throat. And in my work, I scream a lot because I work with kids, and I'm a breakdance teacher and children party host, and I'm trying to keep my throat in the low level of work during the day, you know, because I exhaust my throat a lot with this screaming at these parties. So, 15 minutes, let's start. Okay, the left leg. You will feel the comfort after these 15 minutes, the comfort in the body. It will be huge compared to your normal condition and your condition after stretching. You will feel that your body became soft. And this softness is not something bad. Today, we are focused a lot on the fitness of the gym, like this normal gym trainings. They are good, they are very good, don't get me wrong. The muscle exercises are very good. But they make our joints and our muscles hard, and they could be, our muscles can be big and can be soft at the same time. It is better for the muscle to be soft and for the joints also. So the stretching is very important, even more important if you are going to the gym regularly. If you lift weights or something, it's super important to stretch. Because your ligaments, your muscles will become very hard, and this will reduce their power, their strength, and it's not that good for the health if you do not stretch, if you do not warm up right for your training. And if you get me right, it is extremely good idea to practice lajin before going to gym. I practice lajin before my trainings. Actually, I'm practicing lajin every morning, and I practice like breakdancing or these children parties with breakdancing. I practice at evenings, but the most important thing is that lajin is before these things, because it makes my body soft and makes my body ready to move. It is the same thing with sex life, believe it or not. Because if you warm your body, I mean helping the blood vessels reach every part of the body with this lajin stretching, you are training your blood vessels. They become stronger and they can pump the blood in every part of the body. The other thing is you are softening the ligaments. And this is also increasing the blood supply and the comfort. And it's the same thing, like if you do that and go to the gym, you have less, how is this? Less traumas on the muscles, and your muscles will be more like ready for the training. And with the sex life is the same. You are ready for this thing. No, you are ready for the intercourse. You are softened. You have good blood supply. Your blood vessels are trained. Your ligaments are trained, and you are ready for this thing. So the discomfort will be less, and the blood supply will be better. And it's very simple. It's very simple thing. So that's why you're going to have better sex life. But in the same time, it's not good to. Sometimes I'm thinking if I talk too much about the lajin, like for the good parts of the lajin, for the healing capabilities of this practice, because some people, they do not practice right, and they will never reach this state. For example, they practice less time, or they give up quick. After 2 weeks, for example, they give up. So, there are people and people. Some people will get it, some people won't get it. I'm talking a lot about how good is lajin, but in the same time, you should put a lot of time and effort for it. It's not happening overnight. It's not a magic. It's not a magic trick. It is real training. So you are training your body. So if you train more, your body will become stronger. If you train less, the results won't be that good. And I know for myself that I'm extremely good practitioner. I can be even better, but I know that I practice a lot. And I've shown lajin to some people. They got their first effects, increasing the libido, a little bit of increasing the duration, better erection, returning of morning erections. What else? Reduce pain in the body, and in the same time, they are not reaching that very good result. For example, being able to last 20 times more. For example, if they last, if they last 15 to 30 seconds, they can turn that into 20 times more with ease, like 5 to 10 minutes from penetration till the ejaculation. It could be it could be reached. At least I think so. In my case, it was like this. But I practiced every single day, without skipping any day. And sometimes, if I skipped some day for whatever reason, it happened like once in 3 months, and the next day I'm practicing 2 times. So I practice every day, and even till now I never stop practicing, and I'm giving my best, especially the first 2 years. 1 hour of practice every day. I think this course is a very good beginning, because in the beginning there was no one to tell me what to do. So you have kind of advantage with this because I was scared to practice. I had no one to practice with when I started. So I was wondering what to do when I started with Paidalajin. But yeah, you are happy to have this system of training, 30 days. With these paida sessions combined with these lajin practices, it's a very good way to start. Five minutes and 10 seconds. The background noises here are a lot. Okay, we are almost done. It gives me a lot of energy, a lot of warmth, the practice of the gym. Okay, a minute and 40 seconds. So this is basically practice with me course. I'm practicing and you're practicing in the same time. So you don't need to measure the time, you don't need a timer or something. I'm doing everything. You're just playing the video and doing the same thing as me. Okay, we're ready. Okay. A very good practice. Very nice. Okay. I love this feeling. And after my blood comes to all the parts, the comfort will get even better. Okay, see you tomorrow.